We need to buy some chicken for dinner. And we know there's a store across town, excuse me, that has a sale for $3.09 a pound, which is cheaper than the store in the neighborhood, which sells for $3.49 a pound. So is it worth the extra drive? So let's consider what the extra drive might mean in this situation. So here we are buying 3 pounds of chicken. The neighborhood store is 2.1 miles away, takes about 9 minutes to get there. Store across town is 8.6 miles away, it takes about 22 minutes to get there. Now, something to keep in track with both of those is that's just one way. And we're going to have to consider a round trip. That jumps out at me right away. And then gas mileage. So let's say we have a vehicle that gets 26 miles per gallon in the city. Car holds 15 gallons. We should have plenty of gas if the tank is even partially full, like a quarter fill, and gas right now is about $3.74 a gallon. Okay, so the things we have to keep track of, we have 2 stores to keep track of. So we have the neighborhood store, versus the other store. And then for each of those, we have chicken, we have cost of driving, and we might consider our time too. So the chicken, 3 pounds at $3.49 for the neighborhood. So we would have 3 times $3.49 versus the other store is 3 pounds times $3.09. And then the drive cost, we'll bring this into a spreadsheet in a moment. The drive cost, let's see, for the neighborhood one, it's only 2.1 miles away. So we have to double that. So 2 times 2.1. So that's the number of miles. So let's just do a side note here, 2.1 miles. Let's just do the one way for now. We eventually need to change that into cost. We have dollars per gallon, so we have to change miles to gallons, right? We have gallons and dollars. Here we have miles and gallons. Okay, so for the 26 miles per gallon, that would be 26 miles divided by 1 gallon. And we are going to flip that to use it here because we want to get rid of miles. We want the 26 miles to go below and the 1 gallon to go above. That'll get rid of miles, and then I can use the dollars per gallon to figure out what that's going to cost. And we have $3.74 per 1 gallon. So that'll get rid of the gallons, and now this calculation right here, divide by 26, multiply by 3.74, will do that conversion. So let's see, we double the miles, we divide that by 26, and we multiply that by 374, and oops, not 375. We'll do a similar thing here. So this one would be 2 times 8.6 divide by the 26 miles per gallon we get and multiply by the cost of fuel, which is 374, and that'll convert. Again, I used my unit conversion up there. And then as far as time goes, if we want to consider that too, we would have to double the 9 minutes. So 2 times 9 for this one, or 2 times 22 for that one. How much time do we want to spend doing it? All right, let's figure out what the cost is. So let's get a spreadsheet going. And I want to keep track of the neighborhood store and the other store. And then we want to keep track of the chicken and the drive. So in a spreadsheet, we do an equals to calculate. 3 times 3.09, no, 49 was my neighborhood store. Yours might be different. I don't want to fill. And this one was 3 times, don't forget the equals, 309. That was all cheaper. And no thanks, don't need an autofill there. Let's make those dollars. All right, the drive, this one was 2 times 2.1 divided by 26. I use the slash to divide. Asterisk is times. My cost was 374. Yours might be a little bit different. And again, dollars. And this one was 2 times, mine was 8.6 miles divided by the 26 miles per gallon times $3.74 per gallon. And those are pretty different. Let's just double check some numbers. 2.1 miles, 26,374. 8.6 miles, 26,374. Yep, that looks good. All right, so then the total and money, just be to add those two up. Usually to add stuff, we use the sum formula on a spreadsheet. Google says, do you want to add the numbers above? Oh, sure. And then I can just click on that and then use the fill button to copy that sum formula over to the right. So it looks like it is just under 70 cents cheaper to go to the neighborhood store because it's less of a drive. The drive matters. It costs more to drive based on the difference in price. So it's cheaper. Chicken's definitely cheaper, but if you consider the driving plus our time, right? We got to spend an extra, what was that? 18 minutes here versus 44 minutes. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go to the neighborhood store, save some gas, save some time. Okay, so in this case, not always the case, if the neighborhood store had been a bit cheaper, maybe it was like $2.50, it'd probably be worth my time to go get it. But here it's not worth the time or the money to go get the chicken across town.